Okay, we're going to begin our dissection of the perch. This right here is a gray perch. We'll start with a couple of the mouth structures. We've got up here, this is the maxilla, okay? And along with the dentary jaw, which is the lower jaw, these are going to allow the fish to bite their prey. We also have external nares, and there's two of them on either side. And what the external nares do, water comes in one and goes out the other, and this is going to allow the fish to be able to sense chemicals in the water. So there are a bunch of chemoreceptors right underneath. Back here we have the operculum. You can see that it's actually a separate structure. Okay, so this operculum right here is the gill cover. So we'll look at the gill structures a little bit more later in the dissection, but this right here is the gill cover. It protects the gills, and it also allows for suction to be created to help water move through the mouth into the pharynx and then out it goes out of the operculum once it runs past the gills. We also have the lateral line structure, which is all along the side of the fish. And the lateral line, within the lateral line are some nervous receptors that allow for them to sense the water in the area, so they can sense movement of the water. Now we'll move on to fins. These are very sharp. Up here we have the dorsal fins. You can see what they look like when the fish was actually alive. So those are the dorsal fins. Dorsal fins are going to help with balance, stability, and quick turns. Then we have pectoral fins, which are located right here on the side. And pectoral fins are going to help with steering, maneuvering, braking, and changing direction. Then moving towards the ventral side of the fish, we see two pelvic fins. These pelvic fins are going to help with balance, maneuvering, and also moving up and down in the water. Back here is a single anal fin, and the anal fin is going to help with balance and stabilizing the fish while swimming. And then finally we have the caudal fin, which is the main propelling fin that pushes the fish forward in the water. So again, dorsal, pectoral, pelvic, anal, caudal. All right, now we're going to study the oral cavity a little more closely. The premaxilla is very closely associated with the maxilla, and it is basically this lip structure right here. It's also going to help generate the suction for when they're trying to pull water into their body or pull prey into their body. You can see that it is a little bit separated from the actual maxilla itself, so it can move independently of the maxilla. Then we have the fish's tongue right here. Okay, and the tongue is usually used to help maneuver food in the mouth. Towards the back of the throat, way in there, you can hear that it's a hard structure. All the way back there, the fish has a set of pharyngeal teeth, and those pharyngeal teeth are also going to help with holding prey and chewing it a little bit before it goes down into the stomach. And it goes down into the stomach via the esophagus, which is directly posterior to those pharyngeal teeth. Okay. Then looking at the respiratory system, okay, it's fairly simple. We've got our gill lamellae right here, the gill filaments and lamellae. That's what actually allows for the fish to take in oxygen into its bloodstream and give off carbon dioxide. They are supported by a bony structure called the gill arch. And then on the opposite side of the gill arch are the gill rakers. You can kind of see right here, they're tooth-like. They almost look like a comb, and they're used to prevent food that they're swallowing from getting into the gills. Go ahead and open up this fish. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by cutting through the vent. The vent right here is the exit of the perch's body that allows for digestive waste, excretory waste, and gametes to leave the body. These organisms will externally fertilize, so the females will lay eggs and then the males will release sperm. These are known as spawning events. I'm just cutting The liver is going to be one of the largest organs in the body right here. It's got several different functions. Two of the most important ones are detoxification of blood, as well as production of enzymes that help break down food. The stomach is located amongst all of this tissue. This is the stomach right here. It is sac-like, and it's responsible for mechanical, which is like crushing, and chemical digestion, which is going to use enzymes and acids to help break down the food. Further along in the digestive system, pretty much right on the ventral side inside of the fish, is the intestine that's going to absorb nutrients and then pass waste on to the vent. Okay. So they don't really have a very long digestive system. There's a little bit of coiling back here. But one of the reasons that they're able to digest food so effectively is because they've got these long finger-like extensions, and these are called pyloric cecae. And so this helps expand surface area or increase surface area so that they can digest their food a little bit more effectively. So all of those little finger-like projections are the pyloric cecae. All right. Now on to a little bit of circulatory anatomy. Okay. So this structure right here, we've got the pericardium that was ruptured right there. Here's the pericardium. It's a sac that protects the heart. And then this right here is the Perch's heart itself, okay? It's got a very large atrium on the dorsal side and then a small ventricle on the ventral side. The atrium receives blood from the sinus venosus and then passes that to the ventricle. And then the ventricle will pump the deoxygenated blood up into the conus arteriosus, and then this blood will eventually make its way to the gills to pick up oxygen. We also have a structure called the swim bladder. And the swim bladder is located fairly far dorsal in the body cavity and medial as well. So this right here is the swim bladder. It is responsible for helping the fish maintain buoyancy in the water. If we carefully separate the swim bladder from the body wall, and we look in here, there are two long, dark stripes that run from the anterior to the posterior end within here, and these are actually the kidneys of the perch, and they're going to be responsible for filtering the blood, filtering waste and excess nutrients and water out of the blood. And then down here, this large organ is the gonad. So if it's female, it's going to release eggs, and if it's male, it's going to release sperm. Okay. Moving on to some of the musculature and skeletal information, we have the muscles right here known as the myotomes, and those are going to be responsible for generating movement in the fish. And then in between the myotomes are the myosepta. They act as dividers, but they also kind of help each myotome coordinate with the other ones by being moved by one myotome. The myoseptum actually kind of creates movement in neighboring myotomes. The ribs of the fish are going to be located within the body wall here. Bone is the rib, and it actually extended all the way up through that part of the body. So the rib is going to be used to help protect some of the internal organs, provide support for the body. If you've ever eaten fish, if you find a small bone in your fish that you're eating, it's generally going to be a rib. You can see these are fairly skinny bones. And then the vertebrae are a little difficult to find because they're actually dorsal to the kidneys. But the vertebrae run, again, these are vertebrates, so they have a backbone, and that backbone is going to provide a lot of support for their body. So if we look in here, I moved the kidney out of the way a little bit. So we can kind of see, here's one vertebra right here. There's another one right here. So they're just going to be supporting the fish's body as it moves through the water.